I just keep going forward because there's nothing to it. They throw all this stuff at me, and I'm still standing.
We cannot be this fed up with our gridlocked, dysfunctional national politics and think that a resort to old ideologies or old names is going to move us forward.
So experience is important, but it is not the only thing. And I would urge people to check out my views on foreign policy, how we deal with ISIS, and I think they will make a lot of sense.
A new CNN poll out this morning finds Hillary Clinton leading the field among Democratic voters. She is leading Bernie Sanders 52-38, with Martin O'Malley receiving only 2%. There is some indication that Sanders is closing in. Clinton's lead is now smaller than it has been at any point since the field narrowed to 3 candidates. And this morning, Ryan Salzman back with us from NKU to talk about last night's debate. I'm going to be honest with you, and doing a little bit of research this morning before this conversation, I didn't see a whole lot out of there. So why aren't people talking about this?
Well, it was just an opportunity for the closing arguments, and they've said that over and over, but that's absolutely what it was. The candidates got an opportunity to talk directly to some voters and not really talk to each other. It was much more like a campaign stop than it was like a debate. So town hall, but often town halls are debates in and of themselves. I was quite surprised. I was unaware that they were literally going to be on stage solo last night.
Really kind of just stumping for themselves.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what differences did you see? Let's talk about our 2 real key players here with Sanders and Clinton. What did you see particularly last night, the differences?
They really doubled down, and Clinton is all about experience. She has experience. She's held lots of different offices, lots of different positions, been in the White House, and so she's going to keep leaning on that, and that's definitely her strongest suit. Bernie, he gives her that. He says, hey, she has experience, but the problem is the decisions that she's made have been wrong, and that he has better judgment. And he often looks at the Iraq War, and he looks at some of the repeals of some of the financial regulations in the 1990s, and he says, you can have all the experience in the world, but if you don't have good judgment, then the experience is for naught.
And I think that you said that they're probably fairly happy about this, but it's been kind of quiet as far as the Democrats are concerned.
And even when you watched it last night, and I think the Democrats are reveling in the fact that even when they were on stage by themselves, you have an opportunity to attack somebody and not have a rebuttal. And yet they were throwing around compliments, and especially Senator Sanders is so big on saying, I respect Secretary Clinton, and so they were very nice to each other even then. But again, I think for Democrats and Democratic supporters, this is something that they're really finding satisfying.
What do you make of that, the nice comments, the niceties, the compliments? What is that about?
I think they're trying to draw a contrast with the Republicans. So the Republican race is very entertaining, but if you're supporting a candidate, sometimes that entertainment is seen too negatively. And so I think that the Democrats are really, I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, but they really are doubling down on, we are nice, we are positive, we are ready to work together. It's a way of exemplifying and kind of exuding that you're ready to work together and say, now look at our counterparts across the aisle. They can't even work with each other. How could they work with, say, a Congress controlled by another party?
Now, we did see personality last night come out, including some rolling up of the sleeves, literally, by Mr. O'Malley down there. What do you make of that?
Well, you know, again, the town hall style allowed them to do that. They started sitting, and then they were able to stand up. There was a lot of space for them to speak and say what they wanted to. For instance, Senator Sanders was able to take some time, talk about his family history, and really start to add some layers. And so I think they all were able to really highlight what it was that they found to be their strong suits, or really what they were lacking, which again for Senator Sanders was a backstory. Where's your story?
Before we go to a break, I just have to ask, do you see either of these perhaps down the line working together in the future?
Oh, that's a great question. Yes, absolutely. Now, would either of them be involved in the other's administration? I don't know. I know that Senator Sanders is really big on being in Congress, but yeah, I could definitely see that.
Okay, thanks so much. Good to talk to you
Thank
again.
you.
Look forward to it. The caucuses are beginning.
They're coming.
Okay, well, we're going to send it back to